Hello, Watch Chit Chat here with your reminder that life is short. Buy the watch. Today we're going to have a look at the JLC Reverso. And I got the Duo Face Reverso, but let's have a closer look. The gear show on that is great, just gives it another dimension. And I didn't notice until just now that there's a little bit of brush finish on that white as well. Now it's probably been told to death and you're probably aware of it, but for those who aren't, the story goes that the JLC Reverso was created for polo players because it had this flip function that protected its second face. The original Reverso had a solid face. I've got a duo face version, and that allowed protection of the case, which I believe that might have been debunked, but there is some romance in believing that. I mean, if I'm playing polo, I'll probably get caught up in the game rather than looking at the time. But regardless, let's have a close look at this watch. Really nice blue hands to contrast that white, almost silverish face. And on the reverse side, we've got the black face, which is a little bit dressier. And again, let's have a closer look at that. Travel time, so I wouldn't call it GM. Well, is it a GMT watch? Yeah, I think it is, but it shows you can set it for 2 different times. So there's a little button at the top here that I'll wind the watch up and I'll bring it close to the mic. I really like the sound of the winding of this watch. Hopefully you heard that. It's very satisfying. So high polish finish, so you can see me wiping as I'm going along, but probably shouldn't do that too much. So it's a manual wind watch, which I don't mind. Got the small seconds. It's probably a little bit harder to read the square version of the small seconds, but not too big a problem for me. I find that when you flip it on this side, it gives it a much dressier feel. But if I just show you, let's say it's 10 o'clock, sorry, 9:45 on this side. It's also, see how it's 1 hour in advance. So if I click this button, it doesn't do anything there, but on this side, the hour jumps ahead an hour. So if I do it to there, that's currently matching time. And if I say there's daylight saving time down south in the southern states at the moment in Australia, that helps me keep track of the hour difference. And look, never used it at first, but once you've got it, you do use it, and it's amazing how much it does actually help. So the trick that I've been shown with this is you never, and it gives me anxiety now, when you flip it like that and you click it in, that has the tendency or potential to damage the edge of the case. So what you're meant to do is slide it from the side. I don't know how that makes any difference here, but anyway, that's where you go. You can see that there's a little bit of a scratch there. I hit unfortunately, a door handle, and look, that hurt me at first, but I've gotten used to it. So it's a quick release strap. Well, actually, there's some beveling in there as well. That's really cool. So look. Yeah, I think the pricing on these have gone up a fair bit. In fact, when I bought this, I got a pretty reasonable deal on it, and actually got it priced down, but from what I understand, it's climbed up a lot since then. So maybe a con is probably the pricing, but you do get a good watch, so it's all about perceived value, isn't it? So it's got a clasp, like that, and adjustable, which is pretty cool. You just pull that and pull that. One thing I did notice as a con was that this calf skin, it's not very durable. It didn't last very long. Within, say, 3 months of purchasing this watch, I wore it, and yes, granted there's humidity here, that really softened and show signs of wear. I haven't worn it as much since. I'm very, very mindful of that. Quick release strap, really cool, really well done on this one. Really well done on this one. So look, these straps are pretty expensive. Last I checked, they were maybe $500, $600 for a replacement strap. Do you need the genuine JLC ones? Some purists probably want that, but the fact that it didn't last very long, even though I had this genuine one, makes me think that it's not absolutely necessary to be a purist in that way. So let's have a closer look. Everything about the watch is really cool. It doesn't seem to be a very popular one on the internet, but you get a dressy feel. You almost get 2 watches, and I'd actually say that you get 4 watches, right? So that's 1 watch, right? That's the second watch. But if you don't notice the crown, it's actually, you could say it's a left-hand drive watch as well. So that's, for those wanting to justify getting it, well, you got 4 watches, not just 1. So let's put that to the side first and have a look at the box. It's not much to it. That's the box there. And really look, it's just this nice gold, very simple. And that's it. Now, some boxes, they have a part in there where you've got a tool, but this didn't need a tool, so none was given. There you go. So I'll move that to the side. Let's have a play. So the pros of the dial looks really cool. Actually, we'll do something else as well. I didn't know this until sometime after when I saw it, but this side actually has loom. Now I don't really think it's needed, but what am I going to do with it? I'm not going to go diving with it. But that's reasonably good, don't you think? So maybe at night time, perhaps, like dinner, you can see it. It's time to dispose of the boring chitter chatter and head home. Well, you can tell the time. Cool. So let's have a play with some of the straps. I really like blue and a black alligator as well. I got these 2 aftermarket ones for it, and it's not hard to see why, right? So the brown is nice, but it's probably got a casual feel to it. And yes, it doesn't have the JLC deployment, but let's get this on there. And again, quick release. It just makes it really easy to change things around quickly. It should be on this side. Also, if you didn't see before, the dial has a day-night pretty much. Actually, we've got to be careful with this strap. I think it looks like there's a bit of damage on the side of it. So maybe I won't necessarily click it on, but see that? That really dresses it up. So the pro is you can get a lot of straps for it, even though it doesn't look like a 20mm spacing it is. And I think it's just because of that rectangular shaping. I actually bought this watch because originally I was after a Tank, but when I put the Tank on, I just couldn't get the right size. It was just very small for my wrist and just looked out of shape. So I got this. It has a bit more heft to it. This is the medium, I believe, not the large size. And so this was right for me. I thought for a dressy watch, a bit sleeker. When you go to the large one, it seems a bit chunkier, so it lost that level of elegance. I would call this an Art Deco design, but I think it's maybe not so Art Deco, but I'd call it Art Deco, that's what I think. Now, so the cool thing is I just switch that around, and what I'll now do is put the blue on. And what's cool about the blue alligator, that went on much easier than the black. Throw on the wrist. Oh, I haven't actually used that strap much, so it's a bit tough. I'll need to use that, loosen it up a bit. See, here I'm complaining about that one being worn and this one unworn. So you get that wrist shot. You can see why I picked the blue. It just complements the blue second hands and the white dial quite well. So that is the Reverso. Pluses are that, you know, dual time, well, 2 time zones, very different looks. Can you consider it 4 watches? Adds loom, unnecessary but cool. Little nice conversation piece. Quick release strap. Strap quality wasn't as good as I'd hoped for the price, but you can get an aftermarket one, so that addresses that. I don't know too much about accuracy, but JLC, I think the timepieces are quite accurate, so I haven't actually measured this, but I understand it's a really good, accurate watch. Pricing's probably a little bit of a problem now, again, but that's a matter of perspective, value proposition. And yeah, you wouldn't take it in the water. Let's see, doesn't say anything, but I wouldn't take that in the water. Very elegant design and pretty top quality for the price you're paying. Cons, I think I've mentioned some of them anyway in terms of the bracelet. I'd recommend this watch to anyone. So there you have it, the JLC Reverso Duoface Medium. If you like that video, please click like and subscribe, and remember, life is short. Buy the watch